Hey guys, okay, so here we go. This is our do now. So I would like you to I would like you to pause me and do these 3 questions in your notebook, 1, 2, and 3. You can label it do now for section 17-3. If you want, you could put in your table of contents, section 17.3, and then we can just have the do now there and then all of your notes. Okay, so go ahead and pause, and then I'll do the problems when you hit play again. Okay, so number 1, let's see if I can get this pen to work. Number 1, this is a rectangle. The formula for a rectangle is area equals length times width. So I write area equals, and I have to do 15 times 11. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and do it. 15 times 11. Get a 5 and a 1, and a 5 and a 1, and I add them. I get 165. So area equals 165. Now, did you remember the units? Centimeters squared. Okay, so that's answer number 1. You're going to have to bear with my handwriting. This is how it is writing straight up on a computer. Okay, number 2. I'll change colors for you. Number 2, we have an irregular shape, so we have to divide this into shapes that we know that we can find the area of and then put them together. So I'm going to cut it this way right across here. And this will be shape 1, and that'll be shape 2. So the area of shape 1 is the length times width. It's a rectangle. Area equals 10 times 8. So area of shape 1 is 80. Shape 1 is 80. Remember, we'll add the units afterwards. Area of shape 2. Okay, so I have to figure out how much this side length is here. Well, I have 20 here, and I know that this piece is 8 from over here. So 20 take away 8 must mean that this side that I don't know is 12. So this is a length times width, a rectangle. So I do area of shape 2 is 12 times 6. Area of shape 2 is 72. Okay, so the area of the whole thing, A of W, I just add 80 and 72. And I get 152 inches squared. So I always put my units in there. Make sure I do that at the end. Okay, the third shape is also a rectangle. But this time, they're giving us the area, and they're asking us to find the length. So I write my formula, and I fill in what I know. My area is 175, and I know 7, but I don't know my length. So 7 times L. I divide both sides by 7. So I do 7 goes into 175. Goes in, nope, twice. Which is 14. Subtract to get a 3, and bring that down, get a 5. 7 goes into 35 5 times. So that means my length is 25 feet. Remember, it's not feet squared because it's not the area. Okay, so now we're going to move along. Let's see if I can press the right buttons. Okay, so this would have been your foldable. We don't have foldables anymore for right now. So you're going to copy down. If you want, you could do all the problems going down and then make another column. That's up to you, but we're going to do all of these problems, including what's in the box, and what's in the box are your notes for this lesson. Okay, for a parallelogram, basically the parallelogram should kind of look similar to you to the rectangle. If I took, let me just see if I can get my pen out from under here, okay. If I took this rectangle here and I just moved it over to this side of my parallelogram, you should see, if I moved it, it should now look like a rectangle. So basically a parallelogram is kind of a rectangle that we cut apart and just moved around. And the formula for the area of a parallelogram is area equals base times height. Let me explain where the base and the height are. Can I erase? Let's see, I can. Let me erase what I just did. Back to my pen. It's not letting me go underneath there. Hold on. Can I move this so I can move the whole screen? back to my pen. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So the base is going to be down here, and my height is going to be this dimension that has to be perpendicular like it is in a rectangle. So base times height is what you're doing. Area equals base times height. Okay, so let me do the example with you. Draw yourself a parallelogram. Fill in the dimensions 8 and 12. Area equals base times height. We write our formula first. Then we fill in what we know. Area equals 8 times 12. Area equals, and I'm going to multiply what 8 times 12, that would be 96. I'm running out of, it's cutting me off over there. 96 meters squared. Okay, not so bad. Number 1 over here, it looks a little different. You're probably wondering what these dashed lines are. They're just a way because we have to give you what the dimension is of the height that makes a 90-degree angle. So these dashed lines are not part of your parallelogram. They're just outside, so it can give you that measurement of your height being 5 feet. Okay, so just inside here, that's your parallelogram. But you need this measurement in order to actually find the area of your parallelogram. So the area of your parallelogram, area equals base times height. And draw one of those pictures in your notebook so you have the picture. Area equals, and then I'm going to do 17 as my base times 5 is my height. Area equals, and then I'm going to multiply those two. I'm just going to jump up here and do that real quick. Get 35, carry a 3, I get 85. 85, and I get feet squared. Okay, next one, area equals, so far these ones have all been very similar. My next two, 3 and 4, are just a little bit different. Area equals, hopefully you can pause maybe and do this problem and then check and see if you get it right. Base is 15 in this problem, 9 is my height, so I do 15 times 9. Get 45, carry a 4. 9 and 4 is 13. I get 135 centimeters squared. Okay, now over here, I didn't give you a picture. It's the same thing. I told you your base. I told you your height. You're just going to plug in what you know. So area equals BH. Area equals 24 times, oh, did anyone see anything? This one says inches and this one says feet. We got to go back. There's a problem. They have to be the same units. So we have to make one into the other. Well, I know, there's a couple things that I know. One of them is I could say, well, 3 feet, I know that there's 12 inches in a foot, so 3 feet equals 36 inches, and I could go that route. Or if you want, and you know that 24 inches equal 2 feet. Then they're both feet. So you could do either one of those. I'm probably going to do the feet one because I have 2 feet and 3 feet to deal with. It doesn't matter. You just want to make them the same units before you can go forward. So if I continue with what I'm doing over here, instead of writing 24 inches, I'm going to put 2 for my base. And then my height is 3. And then my area is going to be 6 feet squared. Now, if you do it with the inches, you're going to do, I'll change to a different color. Area equals base times height. Area equals, and then you're going to do 24 times 36 here. And this is probably going to run off my screen. Sorry about that. And then you're going to get a really large number. I'm just going to jump on because we're going to run out of time here if I don't hurry up, because it only lets me record a certain amount of time. 24 times 36 is 864. 864 inches squared. Okay, this last one, number 4, I'm giving you the area, I'm giving you the base, and you have to find the height. So this should be similar to what we have done with the rectangles. So here you're going to write area equals base times height. You're going to plug in the area of 384. You're going to plug in your base of 12. And you're going to put an h for height because we don't know. Now you're going to solve that equation. Divide both sides by 12. And if I do 12 goes into 384, again, for lack of time here, divided by 12, you're going to get 32. So my h is 32. And your units are going to be meters. Okay, so now I'm going to do the next thing. Besides parallelograms in this lesson, there are also triangles. Okay, good. So triangles, if you put two triangles together, they will make a rectangle. So the formula for triangles is very similar to parallelograms and rectangles, except we have half of it, or divide by 2. So first let's fill in the information that we have. This would be our height. And we put a little right angle there. That would be our base. The formula equals, area equals, half times base times height. Or if you don't want to work with a fraction, you could think of it as do base times height, divide by 2. Base times height, and then divide by 2. And you put the, it still looks like a fraction because we write the division with our fraction bar like you've seen me do before. All right, so here's our example. We write the formula. Area equals half BH. Area equals half. The base is 11 times 9. Okay, so I just have to multiply those. I have to do a half times 9 times 11. Well, I know 9 times 11 is 99. I just need to take half of 99. Well, if I think in my head, I know half of 100 is 50. Half of 99 has got to be 49.5. 49.5 meters squared. Okay, number 1 I gave you similar to the parallelograms. I just gave it outside the triangle because sometimes the triangles don't line up and you have to get that perpendicular line for your height. So here you would do area equals a half times base times height, or base times height divided by 2. Area equals a half times 5 times 14. Area equals, if I do a half times 14, I can do that in my head. Half of 14 is 7, and then I do 7 times 5. I can do that because of the commutative property. 7 times 5 is 35 feet squared. Okay, zooming along here, this would be area equals a half times base times height. Area equals a half times 22 times 25. Area equals, if I know half of 22 is 11, so I have to do 11 times 25. 11 times 25 is 275 centimeters squared. Okay, this one, number 3, it's just in written form. It's just not a picture. Number 4 is the last problem that I'm going to do with you here. This is one where we don't know one of the dimensions and you have to solve for it. So let's write the formula. Area equals a half times base times height. The area we do know, is 48. So I'm going to write 48 equals a half. The base is 12, and the height, I don't know. So when I simplify that, I have 48 equals, so you got to think what's half of 12? That would be 6 times your height. Then I would divide both sides by 6, and my height would equal 8 meters. Mommy! Oh, kids are in from outside. Real quick, the last thing I want to note, this question, number 3, notice the units aren't the same. You're going to see that. One sec, bud. Okay? If you have any questions, send me an email and then try the edge elastic. Good luck.